For this next case, I'd like to show you an example of one of the features of CAD software that will make your life much, much easier. It's an example of a patient who had come in for a staging breast ultrasound and was found to have a very large cancer on one side. She was a candidate for neoadjuvant chemotherapy, and after she had undergone a number of cycles, she came back for a second ultrasound to see whether the chemotherapy was actually working. And I'd like to say a special thank you to Dr. Bruce Porter, a colleague and mentor who supplied this case for us to show today. Now, one of the challenges when trying to assess whether a patient is responding to chemotherapy is to know whether or not the tumor has decreased in size and whether the peak of the kinetic curve has dropped and whether the shape of the curve has changed from the more worrisome, rapid uptake washout type curve to a flatter type curve. And that involves looking at images from today and images from before. I want to show you how easy it can be when you have CAD software. First of all, go to your MIP image, identify the lesion as it is today, put your angiogenesis map on, then click on the lesion. The computer will automatically calculate the data for the lesion today. Then, in the Findings panel, select the Compare tab. The computer will automatically find the prior case for you and bring up the relevant images at the correct level. Now all you have to do is identify the lesion in the prior study, click on it once, and the computer will calculate the data for the lesion as it was on the prior study, compare it to the data from today, and calculate all the changes. So, from looking at this data in the Finding panel, we can see that there's been a dramatic change in the shape of the curve. We can also see that the curve peak has changed from a very high level of 1,630% down to 253%. And finally, we can see that the size has decreased considerably in the interval. So this is an example of a patient who has responded extremely well to neoadjuvant chemotherapy. This is important information for the patient because she may be experiencing a lot of side effects. But with this kind of data, you can say to the patient, the chemotherapy is working, we're winning the battle against the breast cancer, let's continue on with this particular regimen. Now, if there hadn't been a sufficient change, you could also tell the patient that as well, and you would know that the regimen would have to be changed to a different course of chemotherapy.